Hello everyone and welcome to The Logical Fallacy. My name is Sean and welcome to another reaction video. I first of all want to start with thank you everyone who went and supported my video. The last video I posted, which was the reaction to the toy box, that received currently around 300 views, which is not normal for my channel, so I really appreciate all the support. And guys, if you guys enjoy my content, please like and subscribe and comment below what you want to see me react to next. Today we're reacting to the game theory, the end of Markiplier, In Space with Markiplier. Now this is coming out prior to the part 2 that's coming out on Monday, which we will be going through that and releasing that on Tuesday. We won't be able to get it that day because I have work, but we are going to be doing it on Tuesday, so look forward to that. But today we're going to be looking at what MatPat thinks about it. MatPat is kind of the voice of game theory, film theory, and food theory. He's probably one of the busiest YouTubers on YouTube, and we're going to watch what his theory is on In Space with Markiplier. I'm pretty interested to see this, so let's get into it. It's a pretty long video, so I'm interested to see some of his theories, and we'll discuss it, see if I agree with him or not.
Just like old times, eh, Captain?
Always did have a choice.
You have a choice here.
This is the final confrontation.
Was there actually a Darkiplier? I didn't actually look at all the endings.
I do, and soon they will too.
Oh, he's pretty confident.
Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory, the show that's officially decided that a multi-choice YouTube series is in fact a video game. That's
Good
right.
choice.
Today we're talking about the wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey story of In Space with Markiplier.
It was really good.
To Mark's
I
first
enjoyed
YouTube
it.
original, A Heist with Markiplier. Both projects have you teaming up with Mark to navigate through a choose-your-own-adventure style quest. Of course, things don't go as planned, and the resulting chaos has you whip-panning your way through a sea of interesting places and people.
You gotta separate your bones from your meat.
He was in A Heist with the Markiplier, which is pretty interesting.
I mean, the man has a great point there. You do have to separate the bones from the meat. And
That
in
is
outer
true.
space, things get even more interesting. Engines are looking good.
Hey.
Really, the supporting cast for this thing is out of this world.
He
Chef's
just like
must
plays
have
all of
Speaking
his
things that are
parts
out
of the
this
series
world,
in this
seamless
one
segue
video.
for the win. As you might expect from anything sci-fi, In Space doesn't just mess with branching pathways, but also with time loops, wormholes, and the multiverse.
I like
All
the
concepts
concepts.
that boil down to one thing:
Yeah.
lore.
Oh.
Now, if this was any other project, I probably wouldn't be making this video. Sure, there's lots of branching paths and cool Easter eggs hidden inside of them, but the lore would be right there for you, available for anyone that's diligent enough to dig through the various decision trees.
Is it?
This is a Markiplier project.
Yes.
And if you've ever seen my
Markiplier's
past
done a
videos
pretty
of
good job.
Markiplier, the projects he touches tend to have a bit more
Push
bubbling
that one
underneath the
aside.
surface. For
That's
the
not what we're talking
uninitiated,
about today.
Markiplier has quite a large amount of lore on his channel, with characters ranging from Wilford Wharfstash to Darkiplier. Characters that started off as little one-off jokes that eventually became fully fleshed out with their own backstories and motivations. We've
pretty
dissected
elaborate.
some of this lore before, but with In Space Part 1 being Markiplier's biggest and most ambitious project ever, I suspected that these personalities might be making a return. Sure, you can play through In
You
Space
think?
to kill off Mark as many times as you want. Totally fine. If that's what you want to do, great, go for it. But there were also moments that kept setting off my theorist senses, namely the constant or one-off lines that seem to imply a greater history to this
Yes.
world. Lines like,
Do you even know who you are?
sprinkled throughout told me that there was
Interesting.
mystery here. A big reveal.
We
waiting
are
for
very
us to happen in
ambiguous
part
as a
2,
character.
so I dug in.
And it
Let me
is-
tell ya,
it
there
is kind of
a
implied
lot
that that's
in here.
just to
Buckle
put
up,
ourselves in the
theorists, 'cause
story.
I'm about to launch your brains into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
I think I figured out what the main climax of In Space with Markiplier Part 2 is gonna be.
We'll
and
see if he's
despite
right.
all the
You'll
hints
have to
that
watch
Mark's
my
been
video,
thrown
my
out,
reaction to
I
find
don't
out,
think
or
it's
play it
gonna
for
be
yourself,
so.
obviously.
Also, before I get too deep into this, I'm sure some of you are thinking that I've cheated, that I'm gonna spoil the ending because I was in the show. The truth is, I wouldn't be making this video if I did know the ending. Mark is a good friend,
That's true.
and he's worked really hard on this project. I
appreciate
wouldn't want to
that.
ruin the surprise that he has for his audience. When working on the show, I never saw the whole thing. I was only exposed to
Why
the
do
parts
they
that I
look
was
like
in.
cardboard
TLDR here,
cutouts
I
for
don't
some
want to
reason?
act as the Tom Holland of this MCU. Markiplier
Guys,
universe.
guess
He's
what?
been treated like any other video that we do. We're
In
dissecting
Infinity
clues that are
War.
presented within the videos that we
He
have
literally
at our
did that. He
disposal,
ruined
and
the
that's it. We're not
ending of
pulling from
Infinity
any
War,
extra
which is funny.
insider information. So in my initial playthrough of In Space on GT Live, I pointed out that we needed to be wary of Celsi, the head of Cryo, played by Pamela Horton.
All right, so Pam, always important to note with these episodes, as
Yeah.
we've done in a previous theory, Pam tends to be the same character in different settings.
You see, Pam's most notable character to date has been Celine from Who Killed Markiplier, a 4-part murder mystery released back in 2017 about a friendly poker night that goes south. And when it comes to Markiplier lore, this series really is the foundation for his
There was a lot of
MCU,
reference
as it
to that
provides
in the
us
heist with
backstories for
Markiplier.
pivotal recurring characters. In it, a pompous jerk named Actor Mark dies. Yep, that is officially what he's known as in the
Actor
canon.
Mark.
And the primary suspects include his childhood friend Damien, the mayor,
I know I'm supposed to be a leader in this scenario, but I can't help but feel lost.
Damien's sister and Mark's ex-wife, the mystical Celine,
Something tells me this seemingly significant event is actually a footnote in a much larger mystery unfolding in our midst.
and the
Interesting.
wacky mustache-twirling, gun-toting colonel.
Life needs a bit of madness, eh, chap?
It turns out Actor Mark's death was all part of a greater plan. Thanks to some magic within the mansion, Actor Mark is able to take over Damien's body, while Damien
Oh,
and
wow.
Celine both take over your body, which gives rise to Mark's most infamous character, the red and blue filtered Darkiplier. Meanwhile, seeing his friends die and come back to life takes a bit of a toll on the old colonel, which causes him to go mad. All these characters then recur throughout Markiplier's other
Yeah.
narrative videos.
There's a lot of,
Markiplier suddenly
different
shows up in an
spin-offs
ending of
that
A
he's
Date with
created.
Markiplier. We know that he's connected to Damien and Celine thanks to the same red-blue filter and the recurring theme of choice.
I won't force this on you. You have a choice here.
I'm tired of giving people a choice.
And the Colonel's story continues in Wilford Mother-Loving Wharf Stash, where we see
That
the detective
is a
from
really
Who Killed
funny one.
Markiplier hunting down the now deranged Colonel, transformed into the reality-warping killer/journalist Wilford Wharf Stash.
Name after name after name, just so you could distance yourself from the real name you should be called.
Murderer.
Wow.
That's not a very good name.
How the hell did you do that?
So, when In Space features a surprise appearance by Wilford boogieing down to 70s music wearing largely
That is a
the same
scene
outfit
from
he was
that. I
wearing
did
in
watch
Mother-Loving
that.
Wharf Stash, you know that these canons are going to be somehow connected. Given those connections,
Seems
I
pretty
guess
obvious,
digging
though.
on Pam's new
I mean,
character
we're not really
Celsi.
learning
Just
anything
before the release of
new.
In Space Part 1,
I mean, you
Mark
guys might
posted
not
some
know that.
photos to
It's
Instagram
fine, but-
showing the credentials for various crew members aboard the ship. Bert, Gunther, and of course, Celsi. But did you notice anything different about Celsi's card? All of them have their faces scratched out, but Celsi's, instead of the typical black, is scratched out in white, with a very distinctive blue and red accent. A motif
Interesting.
that's
Is
been
that
used time and time
Darkiplier?
again whenever Darkiplier is kicking around. You
Hey.
also very obviously have a name connection. Celsi, Celine, very similar. So could these two
Start with the
actually
first
be the
three
same
letters.
character?
Wow.
Could Celsi in this new series actually be the seer Celine from Who Killed Markiplier? The answer is, surprisingly, no. Mark has definitely put some parallels in there, but I couldn't find a linchpin to say that the two were definitely
They're
one and the same.
played-
So
aren't
why
they-
put in
are
a
they
red
played by the
herring like
same
that? Well, just because
actor?
Celsi isn't Celine doesn't mean that Celine isn't aboard the ship. During In Space, if you choose to fire all weapons at the wormhole, Mark opens a locker that's covered in post-it notes. You've got references to Tiny Box Tim, Worf Stash, Mark's undying love for the captain, but take a look at the bottom post-it. It says, Doreen Celsi Connection. Okay, we've talked about Celsi, but then who is Doreen?
Isn't
Well, it's not
that
super
the
complicated.
old lady?
On our tablet, we have a list of crew members with the name Doreen
Doreen,
L.
yeah.
Whitaker on it.
Yeah,
When
that's
an
the old
glitches
woman.
Into reality to offer us some cookies, Mark refers to her as Mrs.
Oh,
Whitaker. So I think
is
it's pretty
Cel-
safe to
is
say that they're
Doreen-
one and the same. But what does that have
Yes,
to do with
are they the
Celsi
same?
or Celine for that matter?
Like, is she an
Look at Doreen's
older
clothes.
version?
The outfit Doreen's wearing is a flowy black dress covered in a celestial pattern, stars, planets, that kind of thing, which is incredibly similar to the dress that was worn by the mystical Celine throughout
Okay.
Who Killed Markiplier.
Interesting.
But that's not all.
I didn't
In
actually
one of the
watch
secret
that
endings,
series,
Doreen appears and
so
says
I'm not
some
sure.
very familiar
pretty cool.
sounding lines.
But that's your choice. You always did have a choice.
I won't force this on you. You have a choice here.
Celine
That
as
is
a
true.
character has always been
Okay.
about choice.
I'm
Talking
starting to
about
decide.
giving us a
That's-
choice or a lack
alright,
of choice
I
that we
see it.
have. So it's important that Doreen is saying these exact same things. And finally, Doreen gives us this very important line.
So, Mrs. Whitaker, we need you to get in the asteroid.
I'm not married anymore, young man.
A
That
fact
is pretty
gets
interesting.
repeated a couple times.
I told you I'm not married anymore.
Why make us so aware of this detail?
Yeah, I did think that was pretty weird.
Well, it's designed.
And we got this ending,
another
which is pretty cool
the
in our
only
playthrough.
Other main character within the franchise to be divorced, Celine. She was divorced from the actor Mark in Who Killed. In short,
interesting.
Celsi was the logical stepping stone. A hint from Mark to us theorists that Celine was in fact here, just not in the body that we expected her to be in. Not in Celsi, but in Doreen.
Interesting.
So Celine is here, and
So,
Wolfstache is
are
definitely
these,
here.
like,
Then where are
spirits
the other characters
that
from
are,
the
like,
story? Where are
I
actor
don't know.
Mark and, most importantly of all, Darkiplier? Well,
Come on,
back
we
in
wanna
May
see him.
2019, Mark released another video as part of his Markiplier
Oh, yeah.
Connected Universe, Damien. This video, if it wasn't obvious, focuses on the character Damien and the frosty limbo that he and Celine exist in after the events of Who Killed Markiplier. In it, we see Damien going through a looping cycle day after day until his routine is broken by the evil actor.
Oh, very similar
Narcissistic as
to
ever
In
and
Space with
obsessed
Markiplier.
having someone play the villain to his hero.
You don't realize this place is a dream, a never-ending starring role as the hero. But what is a hero without a villain? You honestly think that you're the hero in all of this? Well, of course I am.
In the end, Celine cedes control of Darkiplier to Damien alone so he can get his revenge on actor Mark while she goes to rest.
You can't come back from this. It'll change you.
Well, he did say he wanted me to be the villain. Maybe he should be more careful with his wishes.
Notice the language here. This repeated emphasis on the battle between a hero and a villain. Now look at In Space Part 1. At the start of the story, when we're introduced to our head engineer and primary,
We are
Mark, he
kind
gives us
of
lines
the,
that seem to imply
villain.
that we go way back.
Just like old times, eh, Captain?
And then later, in the majority of the endings, we're confronted by an old version of Mark, one who again seems to share a long history with us.
Yeah.
of mine. Oh, close confidant. I missed our exchanges of conversation.
One who apparently has something to apologize for.
I'm sorry about a lot of things.
And someone
What
who's
are you
worked a long time to
apologizing
try and
for?
stop Our
Also,
apparently evil.
A note, a bit of an Easter egg that I think, I don't know if he'll mention. On his jacket is M2702. And that's a reference to In Heist with Markiplier. And I'm pretty sure, his jumper and the prison scene, if you get the prison ending, it has M2702. So that means that those are the same characters. And we got a confirmation in the ending we got in our video, where basically we saw a behind the scenes where we saw a different Markiplier character talking about being on bail and parole, which is a reference to In Heist with Markiplier. So there seems to be kind of a greater meta story too going on. I don't know if he'll talk about this. There's 4 minutes left, so let's see. Or 5.
I can't let you win. This is the final confrontation. Good.
But I'll be upset, not upset, but like,
He succeeds,
I'll
he
be
tells us that it's time to move
disappointed
on.
if he doesn't mention it.
Because I beat you.
It's weird. None of this seems to fit. Like, I know that we screwed up the multiverse via our choices as the captain, but it doesn't seem like this is the way that this character would respond. It seems like he's commenting on things that are outside of the story that we were presented.
Maybe they
And he
aren't.
is. The thing is, we've
Maybe
seen one
it's on
character
part
say
2.
all of these lines before, repeat all of these same ideas.
Friend of mine. Oh, close confidant. Oh, my friend. It's all in the past. But that's all in the past. Good versus evil. The hero versus the villain. But what is a hero?
Hey.
A villain.
So is he?
This isn't just any Mark, this is actor Mark. He's now in the role that he's always dreamed of. He's the hero. He's the one that gets to save the multiverse from evil. Mark put it like this during his breakdown of Damien.
He's in this world where he gets to play out the leading role of any story he wants.
Interesting.
He can't imagine other people not loving that. He's just a narcissist. He can't even imagine that he's wrong.
But then why is Mark so determined to defeat us? It seemed like the captain was meant to just be us, the viewer, put into this adventure, but I'm not
I don't
entirely
think that's
convinced
true.
that that's the case.
I don't
Even
think so.
Doreen has us questioning our identity.
Can't say I'm surprised. You always were stubborn. Do you even know who
That
you
kind
are?
of kicks that out of
Feel
the
like you been here before?
That theory.
Or is this just history repeating itself?
She knows us. We are Damien. We are Darkiplier. Someone Celine always thought was stubborn. Someone who's been stuck in a repeating loop of events.
Oh yeah, doesn't she say you've always been stubborn?
Just
and
like the signs next to our
and the Damien
tell us.
Get some sleep. You look tired.
In fact, there's a lot of small stuff hidden in here too. Like how in Who Killed Markiplier we get this line from the detective.
Maybe I shouldn't have trusted someone so goddamn gorgeous.
And in space, we regularly hear things
That's
like,
pretty funny.
I've never laid eyes on a creature so handsome and or beautiful.
We are once again
Great
considered
line.
attractive. This is why, despite the fans
attractive.
crying
Yes,
out to
yeah.
see Darkiplier as a part of
Oh,
the
no.
series, he's yet to show up. We've been inside his body the whole time. We've been looking through his eyes.
Huh,
It's also
that's
why
creepy.
actor Mark is so determined to beat us. Notice what happens during all the endings of part 1. We're sent to a place outside the known universe.
Be advised, designated location.
That's probably why on there's a bunch of
with blue lighting, but
missing
is it just me or does this look a little
wanted
bit familiar?
like
Say
posters
black
on the
nothingness with blue
website
we see
that
enveloping
Markiplier put
Damien
out.
in Who Killed
He put it on
Or again,
ARG,
in the ending of the
which
video,
on there
Damien.
there's a
The
bunch of like
problem is,
missing
we don't remember
posters
who we are.
because
On
he's at the
multiple
end of the
occasions, We have
universe.
Celine in the
Pretty
body of Doreen trying to jog our memories.
Makes you feel like you've been through all this before.
We got this ending, guys.
Do you understand, dearie?
She's
You
trying
don't have to yell at me.
To the
I
surface.
really
She's trying to
understand.
remind him of who he is and what he has to do. And so now, with the universe being rebooted, I believe that's exactly what we're going to start to see. Damien beginning to remember. Darkiplier becoming who he was meant to be. The reboot means the stage is now set for actor Mark and Darkiplier to have their final showdown. After all these years, they can finally put to rest this quest for revenge that's been keeping them going for so long. Recently, Mark released a teaser for part 2 full of codes that translated
Here
to
we
quote,
go.
7 gods aligned, a key formed from their union. The
Yeah.
lock hides in time. 7 gods, you say? Remind me how many characters were in Who Killed Markiplier?
I wondered
Oh, yeah,
this.
7. Celine, Damien, Wharfstash, actor Mark, even
So
the detective,
each of these are
chef,
supposed
and
to
the butler, the
represent,
last 3 of which appear as
the
frame
Greek gods,
perfect
I think.
glitches in the
Like
endings
Zeus.
of In Space. Basically, what I expect
And,
we're building towards is a reunion
I don't
of
know.
all these characters towards the true canon ending of the whole series. An ending that'll put an end to the Darkiplier actor Mark feud, or maybe reverse time back to undo the events of Who Killed Markiplier. That is why we've been getting all these noir-themed hints throughout his recent videos. It's a callback to the overall tone and noir moments of Who Killed Markiplier. We're building to the climactic ending of the Markiplier cinematic universe.
That's
An
great.
ending
That's great.
that leads us back to where it all began. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. I'll see you in space on May 2nd.
Oh yeah, we will. All right. So that was the video, the game theory video on the end of Markiplier. What do you guys think? Please comment below. Thank you guys. If you guys have made it to the end of this video, you guys are truly legends. You have made it to the true ending. And please, as your reward, go down there, subscribe, like, and comment. But we are not done yet because I want to discuss this. That was a long video. And quite frankly, I think that a lot of that we kind of already knew. At least if you think about it, it all makes sense, right? It all is obviously connecting to... there's a few interesting things that I'm surprised he didn't talk about, like the strange meta moments. And I guess he couldn't fit that all on the video, but there's a lot of breaks, like in the ending that we got, which was the open the door ending. You know, and also... One thing that I don't think he's taking into account is the recent trailer that we got, which is basically kind of highlighting our consequences. So I think that, quite frankly, while the cameos are going to be great, I really would love it for him on a story why, kind of with everything built upon, to really push into our consequences. And show us what that means. And I think that, if anything, part 2 is going to be really us as a character trying to undo all of the things and all the consequences, or simply just accepting and dealing with it. And also, there seems to be a lot of mentions of the wormhole, like he made a funny video giving us the PEDAL acronym, which was what was it? It was PEEP, EEP, Don't Leap, which was pretty funny. But basically, the fact is like don't jump, which is a reference to part 1 when we had that fake option. So I think all of this is connected, and I think that he's kind of covering half of it, the part that interests everybody, but I think the other half of it's honestly where a lot of the story is actually going to come from, which is dealing with our own consequences. And I'm not sure how that story that he presented is really going to fit into that. I'm not saying I don't believe him. I'm simply saying that I think it'll be interesting to see who's right. So also, please go and check out my reactions to my first playthrough. We got a lot of the endings that he mentioned in this video. So please go through, see how we got those endings, and also go to the original video that Markiplier sent out, the In Space with Markiplier. Check it out if you already haven't, although if you're watching this theory, hopefully you've already checked it out. But thank you guys so much. Please like, subscribe, and thank you guys once again for everyone who's already supported me. You guys are truly legends. Give this a like, and you guys have a great day.